Well, hot damn Billy Bob. It's here. The new 3D Robotics Iris Plus finally came about 15 minutes ago via my frickin' FedEx guy. And it was actually supposed to get here about 3 days ago, but 3DR sent it to acesdeals.biz, who had to turn around, box it up, and overnight it back to me. But I don't give a rat's butt. We've got it, and it's time to do an unboxing and an unbiased review of this little technological wonder. But I want to thank all of the guys over at 3DR and Colin Gwynn himself for sending this over to me. And we're going to take it out of the box and put it together and get it up in the air. I don't have the Taro 2D gimbal that comes with it yet. That's following along close behind. So we'll do that review and check out all of the features on this thing in our next video or one soon thereafter. But for right now, let's take a look at it and get it in the air. Okay, from what I understand, in my conversation with Joseph Aletke, who is one of the developers and engineers and a flight instructor at 3DR. Now, according to Joseph, this takes very little tools in order to assemble it. From what I gather, you only need like a hex driver to put the landing gear on. Other than that, it's RTF. Slap those self-tightening props on, charge your batteries as soon as you open the box, so by the time you've got it all assembled, you're ready to fly. Okay, ready to go? Let's get this initial unpacking out of the way very quickly, okay? All right.
3, 2, 1, go! You will need a box cutter in order to open the frickin' box.
Boy, I'm glad there's an Iris Plus in here and not that inflatable doll that I ordered. Boy, they do some serious packing in here. Nope, I was wrong, which I very often am. It's a whole buttload of AA batteries. This thing actually has 4 antennas on it. And there's a wrench for your self-tightening props. And there are the little hex wrenches for your landing gear. And then we have the USB cable that goes from your Iris Plus to your computer for updating your firmware. All right. We got to get the charger and the battery out of this thing first, because the charger and the battery you want to charge up immediately when you open the box. Don't wait until you've got the thing all assembled, because then you can't fly it because you still got to charge your battery. All right, there's our charger. Let me put my old fart glasses on. This has got a regular LiPo charger. It's very similar to the charger that comes with the DJI Phantom series. It'll charge a 1S all the way up to a 4S battery. Charge it at 3 amps. The battery can take it. You're not going to hurt it. So you take your electric cable that goes directly to your charger, plug it in. Here's your electric leads. And by the way, this is not packed and calibrated in China. This is made in Mexico. So right here, local, it's assembled. I take that back. It's assembled in Mexico. And then it is distributed in, I think it's 4 different places in the United States. So when you order your Iris, you don't have to wait for them to get a shipment all the way from China and go through customs and all that crap. It's coming straight from good old United States of America. Red into red. Black into black. Do not mess that up or you will go poof with your battery, okay?
Colin, where's the battery? There we go.
I got it. Oh, wow. It comes with a LiPo bag. So when you're charging your batteries or storing your battery, you can put it in this protective bag. So if you're, for whatever reason, your LiPo goes nuclear, as I like to say, then it's inside of a protective shroud. Your landing gear, the LiPo. There it is. This is the 5100 mAh battery. This thing will get you, 15 minutes of flight time, maybe even a little bit more. And it's an 11.1 volt 8C batteries. Comes with a XT60 connector and the balance lead right there. So 5100 battery. If you're going to order an Iris, I've got to do it right away. You want to have, realistically, you want to have 3 of these batteries. Now basically what that means is when you're flying your first battery, you switch over to your second battery, put this one on the charger. Then you switch over to your third battery and fly that. By the time you're done flying your third battery, number 1 will be all charged up again. So you could potentially fly all damn day until your wife makes you come in the house and eat. Plug in the balance lead to the 3S port and then plug in your XT60 connector. You can't screw it up for you dummies out there because an XT60 connector will only go in one way. So notice I've got it on 3 amps, so I've got 3 lights across the top and we are charging. Wait for a green light and you're ready to launch. Ta-da! Drum roll, please. This button right here, now this is something that's completely different than the Phantom Vision or the Phantom series. Now with the Iris Plus, once you've set up your radio and you've got your switches in the right place, everything is good to go, then you arm it after everything is complete. So you push this button on the front of the Iris Plus and that is go to launch. Here is the complete manual. I hate these plastic wrappers. I don't even know how to get this thing open. When all else fails, cut it. More tape. Okay, I got it. Check that out. It comes with cool stickers. The operation manual, and I gotta tell you, I'm not real big on how-to manuals. I'm one of those guys that gets it, puts it together, and figures it out on the fly. Now, in this case, I think I'm gonna actually read this because this is such a lot of technology. I want to be damn sure that I'm doing everything right. So for right now, we'll be taking those cables right there and tucking them inside because I don't have my gimbal yet. Come on, Colin, send me a gimbal. I know you will, buddy. I know you will. I would guess that these are propellers. Now the Iris Plus also has self-tightening propellers and they look like, I would say they're about 9-inch. 9-inch 4.5 pitch, I would say. Silver nut on the clockwise rotation and a black nut on all of your counterclockwise rotation. Now here's another difference between the 3D Robotics Iris and the Phantom series. On the Phantom, the throttle automatically centers. So when you are hovering, all you got to do is let go of the stick and it comes back to center, and the Phantom will hover right there in place. On the Iris, you've got full travel on the left stick on your throttle. So if you're at the very bottom, you are descending quickly. If you're in the middle somewhere, you're going to be hovering. It's very easy to find that hover position, and see, there's kind of an advantage to that, because on the Phantom, it always wants to center out, and so you're pushing against that resistance, as opposed to having free travel on that left stick. So they both have their advantages, and I think that this may be a little bit more sensitive and responsive than the Phantom technique. Okay. These batteries fit in here really tight, so be very careful installing them. And there we go. We got all of our batteries installed. By the way, I've had a couple of requests from subscribers that are asking me if I am selling the Demunseed t-shirt. Now, I don't know why in the hell anybody would want to wear a t-shirt that says Demunseed on it. You know what kind of questions you're going to get from people? Like, I don't know. So, but I'll tell you, if you want a Demunseed t-shirt, let me know, and if I get 12 people who want a t-shirt, then I'll send you one. And we'll do them for 18 bucks plus $5 shipping. How's that sound? 18, 9, 21, 2, 23, $23 for a t-shirt. Yeah, we'll do them for 23 bucks a t-shirt, and I'll ship it anywhere. I don't care. I'll ship it to frickin' the Philippines. Shoot me an email to jimbowers@foothill.net. Okay, our battery is all charged up, so we just open it up here and slip in the battery right into the compartment, I'm assuming. Let's see. Oh, there's kind of like a dampener on both sides of the battery, so the battery fits snug in there, which is kind of cool, so it doesn't slop around. Plug in your battery. Oh, that's cool. What the hell was that? I guess we better turn on the radio. Throttle down. I shouldn't have the props on right now. Especially, you know, just unboxing this thing. So let's close the door. This is the front of the aircraft, the two blue arms, and the two black arms are the back of the aircraft. So you're looking at this LED indicator to let you know what the status of the aircraft is at all times. Oh, I suppose we should probably take it outside before I arm it. I did figure out, by the way, that this is the radio controller. And so this actually hooks up to your tablet. So you plug the little USB cable, that little cable that came with it that I thought was for a GoPro camera. Well, that's for your Android device. So you plug this USB puppy into right there, or maybe the other end, I don't know which, and then plug that into your tablet. So then you would just Velcro this on the back of your tablet and connect the tablet to the rail on the back of your radio, and you're set for waypoint and mission flying. Simple enough. Even a putz like me can figure this out. So I know you can too. The Iris is definitely bigger in diameter than the Vision. If you take the Vision and turn it upside down on top of the Iris and center it, you see how the prop tip sticks out farther. So the Iris, diameter-wise, is about 6 inches larger from prop tip to prop tip than the Phantom 2 Vision Plus. Now, as far as orientation goes, I think that the Iris is probably going to be a little bit easier to distinguish in the air. You know, this is the back, and it has the LED indicator on the battery lid right there. And it also has the LEDs on the underside of each of the arms. So, and then with the bright blue legs on the front, I think orientation wise, the 3DR Iris Plus is probably going to be a little bit easier to orient yourself in the air. If you're going to fly the Phantom, I highly recommend you definitely put prop guards on your Phantom. Paint the front prop guards a different color, and that way you'll easily be able to tell which is the front, which is the back when you're flying out there. Here's one thing I am curious about, and that is whether or not prop guards are available for the Iris Plus. If they are, I will definitely get a pair and then probably paint the front ones blue and the back ones black. Just another visual aid to help with orientation. Now, I also figured out that the radio controller that comes with the Iris is a Turnigy radio. Very, you know, it's not all cheapo plasticky. It's got a real heavy-duty feel to it, and it's got just a lot of features in it. So I'm real impressed with the radio that 3DR used for the Iris Plus. Let's do a little bit of pre-flight here before we take off with the Iris for its first maiden flight. On your radio, you want to make sure that your antenna is pointed straight out, okay? You'll get the best reception and signal pointing your radio straight out. On your switches, basically, just remember you want to go up with all your switches. Your far right-hand switch should be in the off position. Your loiter and STD switch, STD, what is that? Sexually transmitted disease switch. That should be in the off or up position. And then turn off the far left-hand switch so it's all the way up, and have your throttle down all the way at the bottom, and you turn on your radio. And that's what I do before I plug in any battery, is you always cycle your radio between batteries, because you want your radio on before you arm your aircraft. If you do turn your aircraft on before you turn on your radio, your aircraft is looking for a signal and it's not finding one. Potentially, it could return to home. or go back to its launch point. So always make sure your radio is turned on before you power up your bird. To open the battery door, you just squeeze the sides of it, okay? Just squeeze the sides of the battery door and the battery door latch will come open. It's really easy to do. And then your battery itself, it's really snug going in there to hold it in position. So just slide it in between the foam runners that are in there. Then take your XT60 connector, and there we go. Makes a hell of a noise when it fires up. And then tuck your wires away and make sure you don't hit these wires that are down here below on the LED. So put these battery wires, you know, tuck them in there as far as you can get them to go. And then close up your battery door. Watch your LED light because you're waiting for a green light and GPS lock before you take off. The green flashing LED indicator, which indicates that we now have sufficient GPS satellites to take off. So remember, the Iris has this arm button right here. While it's flashing red, it's in the standby mode. So if we push that and hold it down for 2 seconds, now the Iris is armed and you can start the motors. The motors won't start until you press that button and armed it. Okay? And just before you take off, every time, always check your switches one more time, because that's the biggest mistake that novices make, is they forget to check their switches. They take off in course lock or RTF or RTH, return to home, or some weird thing, and then something happens and it flies away on them or crashes into a tree, and then they blame it on the damn bird. Well, 90% of the time, it is pilot error. Okay? All right. We're going to launch this on its maiden flight. So if there's a glitch in this thing, you're going to be the first to see it. All right? First thing you do in order to arm the Iris Plus, unlike the Phantom, on the Phantom you pull both sticks down and to the center. On the Iris Plus, you just pull the stick with the left stick, throttle stick, down and to the right. And we hear a tone. There we go. The Iris is now in the idle position, so it's ready to take off. And let's lift it off the ground. We've got a little bit of right side roll going on. You see it wants to just kind of scooch to the right, but I didn't calibrate the compass yet. So I haven't actually even read that in the book about calibrating the compass on an Iris Plus, but I'm sure that there is. As a matter of fact, I know there is a way to calibrate it when you plug it into the software. And it actually has a more advanced compass calibration that where the Vision, the Phantom series, when you calibrate the compass on those, you only do it on 2 axes, on the horizontal and the vertical axis. On an Iris, you actually calibrate it 360 degrees, so it's kind of a spherical. You're turning the Iris all the way around in different directions and calibrating it on like 60 or 70 points instead of just 2. So there we go, our maiden flight with the Iris, and this thing is just absolutely bomb-proof in the air. And let's take it up a little bit. It's actually very soft on the stick. It's not a, it's not a rocket taking off into the air, and it actually should not be. For shooting high-end videography, you don't need a ton of torque, and for this thing to take off like a bat out of hell. You want it to be nice and smooth and gentle with all of its different movements. So I can give it a lot of throttle, and you notice it didn't rocket into the sky. It just gently started to accelerate
And the more you accelerate, the quicker it will begin to accelerate. So it's kind of an exponential throttle. So if you look, it's very easy to hover. I've got the stick right in the center position now, and it's doing a perfect hover. Even though this stick doesn't have an auto center on it, it's very, very easy to find the sweet spot and get the Iris to hover right dead on the money. All right, we're gonna bring it in for a landing and store this puppy for the evening, and I'm gonna go eat something. Let's land it. Now to land it, all you gotta do is bring your throttle all the way down and to the left. So now we are disarmed, and we go right over here and push the button 2 times, and now we have disarmed it and we're ready to remove the battery. All right, so that's it for the unboxing and the reveal of the new 3D Robotics Iris Plus. I'm really impressed with this. The next video that we have on the Iris Plus, we're gonna go over the Android app. It's a free app that you download, and it's a mission planner. So we can do the follow me feature, the waypoint missions, flying a grid, doing the side follow, the front follow, the orbit follow, the loiter. There's all kinds of really interesting technology that we need to explore on the Iris Plus. If you're looking for an Iris Plus, give Peter a call over at acesdeals.biz, 888-239-2644. If you order on their website, put Demunseed with a U, D-E-M-U-N, Demunseed in the coupon code for an additional whopping discount. All right, guys, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed this. It was a little bit long, but we had a lot to do. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you on the next edition of Demunseed. Out.